Om Shanti and welcome back to Light of Knowledge with Sudha Didi. In our previous episodes, we have talked about the benefits of a Rajyogic lifestyle for busy professionals. And we also talked about the difference between wanting and giving. And today we bring to you yet another very interesting topic. The law of karma unveiled, the myths and the truth. Didi, welcome back to Godlywood Studio and to Light of Knowledge. And we look forward to this wonderful discussion with you.
Yeah, I too.
Thank you. Didi, let's start off with the basic question. You know, when you say law of karma, there are really a lot of different kind of understandings, misconceptions. So what would you say, what is the law of karma?
Actually we have been listening about this law of karma since our school days and maybe even before that. So in our school days, the laws of Newton, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Right.
And before that, in a layman language, we used to listen, as you sow, so shall you reap. And so actually, in essence, this is the law of karma.
Okay.
But here I would like to definitely underline, because I know that the word karma is very often misused and it is associated with something negative, with something wrong which happens in the life of a person. So when something unpleasant occurs, many people use the word karma.
It was my karma this happened.
This is my karma.
Yeah.
And when something good happens, they don't use this expression karma.
Right.
So karma actually means action. Karma is this word in Sanskrit. It means action. And action can be good or bad.
Right.
And action can be compared to a seed.
Okay.
And this world is compared to a field of action.
Okay.
And so when you sow the seeds of action into this field of action, that is the world, then this seed definitely gives some fruit in the form of happiness or sorrow, in the form of peace or worry, in the form of health or misery or disease. Something comes out as a result of my seeds which I have sown, which we say action.
Right.
And so this is the law of action.
Okay.
And therefore it is to be understood very clearly that action never goes waste. Once you have done the action, it will bring its fruit.
No matter what.
No matter what.
So there is no such thing as I take it back. I mean, with words, sometimes we say, we hurt a person and then we say, oh, I'm sorry, but I take back my words.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really mean anything, because that...
No, to some extent it does mean. It does mean, because the person has realized his mistake.
Okay.
And therefore after realization he says, I'm sorry. But this sorry will work only then if the person does not repeat it.
Okay, this is a very important point to note.
Very important.
Yes.
And the second thing is that because it has been said, the words have been spoken. There is a saying that the arrow which has gone out of the bow, the words which have gone out of your lips, they can't be returned back. So they have gone.
Right.
But once the person realizes that I am wrong about it, and so he therefore says sorry. So to some extent, the result of those bad words spoken or hurting words spoken reduces.
Okay.
But the result will be there.
Okay. One more understanding, like you just talked about earlier in the introduction, that it's action-reaction.
Yeah.
And as we heard in physics, it was equal and opposite.
Right.
So the normal understanding is, like, say, if I hurt a person once, then he or she is going to hurt me back, and then that karmic account is going to be gone. So is it just that one kind of interaction, or are there more repercussions down the line?
No. As per the law of action in physics, we say that, if you press, this action, and this will come back with the same force.
Right.
That's okay. But in the human world, in the spiritual world, it is not like that. Like if you have hurt someone and you did something wrong to one person only, but this one person does not live in isolation. He is connected with 2 more people, for example.
Okay.
So when the person is hurt, he is in sad state of mind,
Yes.
sad mood, and he meets these 2 people.
Right.
So these 2 people listening to his story are affected by his state of mind.
Right.
Further, these 2 people are connected with, for example, 2 more people
Oh my
again.
God. Yes.
You know, it becomes a geometrical progression, you know. So the effect may be lesser and lesser and lesser, but it is there.
Nevertheless, it's there.
Yeah. And so you may have hurt one person, but it may have affected 40 people.
But is it all going to come back to me?
It will come to you.
Oh my God.
Because it is because of you. It is because of you these
Wow.
40 people were hurt.
Oh my God. Okay.
But the same is with happiness. If you give happiness to one person, so it will also reach many others.
Okay.
That will also come to you.
Oh, this is such a wonderful point to note that, you know, you give, like you said, like whatever you give is going to come back. But I never realized it was going to be like multiplied in this term.
Just a very
my
simple
God.
thing.
Yeah.
You sow one seed. It does not give you one fruit, isn't it?
That's right.
So many fruits come out
That's
of
right.
that. The same is here.
Wow. Now that I have this understanding, you know, it's a very powerful, it's like an eye opener, seriously. How do I ensure that I always perform good and right actions and not let my inner imbalance affect my actions or words?
If you remember, in one of the episodes, we talked about who am I? We talked about that I am a soul, and in my true nature, I am pure and peaceful and loveful and happy soul and powerful soul, and so on. So if I remind myself time and again about who am I and whose child am I, then I make, you know, I try to use these qualities in my action.
Okay.
I allow these original qualities to come into action.
Okay.
And so when I am allowing these qualities, so my actions reflect these qualities. They definitely cannot be negative or bad actions.
Right.
They will definitely be positive and good actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So being in that constant remembrance and awareness
Yeah.
that I'm a positive being, I'm a peaceful being.
You're right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of soul, Didi, actually somebody asked me this one day. You know, nowadays most people, maybe they're half spiritual. Most of us know that I'm a soul, I'm not the body. At least this much knowledge I think people have these days. One person actually said to me that I know I'm a pure soul, but it's the body that's committing the sins. And I think this belief goes to say why people take dip in the Ganges, or you know, or some people also believe that you do something wrong and then you come home and take a shower and that sin is gone. So
And no, it's not so simple. It's not so easy. See, that, you know, it's actually a misconception that the body is committing the sin, or body is doing the wrong action, or in essence, it is body which is doing the action, whether good or bad, whatever it is. It's not like that. It is I who do the action through the body. Very simple. I see through my eyes. I see. Not the eyes themselves see. I hear using my ears. I am hearing. I am speaking. I am walking. I am eating. I am cooking, using my different organs of the body.
okay.
So the body is actually the assemblage of the instruments
Okay.
which I, the soul, use to perform actions.
Right.
Because it is I, the soul, who uses these organs to act. It is my choice. What do I want to do through these organs? Like, for example, eyes. I can use these eyes and see somebody with love, mercy, kindness.
Right.
But the same eyes can express anger, jealousy, revenge.
Yes.
Eyes are the same. These are simply the instruments. But how do I use them? That is the soul.
Correct.
So that means it is the soul that does the action, whether good or bad. And therefore, the charity or the sin committed by the soul goes to the soul.
Okay, so the body, like you said, is just the instrument.
Right.
And the driver,
Uh-huh.
if I may, is the soul.
Yeah.
So everything is determined by the soul and it's coming back to the soul.
Coming back to the soul. Not
Okay.
only determined by the soul, but also done by the soul.
Done by the soul. Done by the soul.
Done
also.
by the soul.
Okay.
And this is why the law, as you sow, so shall you reap.
Okay.
You do, you get.
Okay.
The soul does, the soul gets.
Okay.
And the soul can get it not definitely in this birth. The soul can receive the fruit of its actions in its next birth too.
Okay.
And this is why we see some children are born with some diseases,
Right.
or they are handicapped, or they are born in an atmosphere where they don't get any love or care. So this is the law of karma, which works.
Right.
Yeah.
Many times, though, it's not easy for us to understand the correlation between action reaction. Sometimes people might say, like, I have done a lot of charity. I have opened a lot of hospitals, schools, or anything that concerns with helping the poor people. But at the same time, if this person is cheating on his business partner,
Right.
or his customers, if he's cheating on them, will this positive action of doing so much charity on one end and cheating at the other end, will they neutralize each other?
You have to see that the actions done, for example, good actions, to how many these good actions have benefited,
Okay.
and then to how many those negative cheating actions have harmed.
Okay.
So you have to compare that.
Okay.
So each action will bring its result,
Okay.
definitely, and it will neutralize. And this is why, to some extent,
Okay.
based on the quantity of the good and the bad actions.
Okay.
And this is why sometimes you may have heard that some people say that this person is such a bad person, he is not honest and he is very like bully, and but he's enjoying.
Yes.
He has so much in his life. He has this and that and so on and so on. And that poor lady, she's so good and so kind and so polite, so humble, but she does not have anything with her. So that is the law of karma here. So the person may have done bad actions and is doing bad actions now, but maybe from the previous births, his good actions are coming to him, and he's getting that wealth and lot of, servants and homes and this and that and cars and everything. But at the same time, in the depth of the life of that person, you might see that person is internally not happy.
Okay.
He has to take some sleeping pills for
Okay.
going to bed, or he has so many things, but he has at the same time some diseases,
Okay.
so that he can't enjoy that delicious or tasty food or something like that. He's not allowed to go to high mountains and this and that because of his physical health. So sometimes we try to see that whether something is good or not only on the external factors, but the internal things are very important.
True.
Yeah, and that for the same old woman who is very kind, very merciful, very loving, very sweet, but maybe she does not have comforts of life, but at the same time she is peaceful inside. She is getting the blessings of the people. Whenever people pass through her, say that she is so good. So these things also matter.
That's true. That's very
But
true.
it is connected with the karma which was performed by the soul in the previous birth.
Okay.
The body died,
Right.
but the soul is eternal. It
Right.
continued.
Right.
So it has brought that fruit with it now
Okay.
in this birth.
Very true. So we can look at it as a bank balance. Like
Yeah.
you have your positive bank balance,
Right.
and then you keep drawing on it.
Yeah.
And if you don't perform any good actions, then you're going to go bankrupt
Right.
with your positive bank balance.
Very true. Very, very true. Yeah.
Another scenario I was just thinking about, when we talk about, what I'm trying to understand here is it like an apple for an apple? For example, if I have a karmic account, a heavy karmic account with a person, is it necessarily, and I have to interact with that person on a daily basis, and I can feel through my interactions that it is a very heavy karmic account. Is it necessarily the karmic account with that person that I am dealing with, or could it be that I've done something similar to another person, but it is expressing through this person?
No, it can't be like that.
Okay.
So if it is a karmic account with a particular soul, you will have to deal with that account, with that soul only.
Okay.
Because it is the karmic accounts between the souls.
Okay.
And this is why a child is born in a particular family,
Right.
in a particular environment. He's admitted to a particular school, born in a particular country,
Right.
you know.
Correct.
And you know, it is all connected. The karmic accounts brings the soul at that particular place. For example, even you are searching for a job, and you get a job, but that job is not as highly paid, and you say no. But then you get another job that is very highly paid, and you naturally select that one. But you go there, and the boss there is not good, and so he's not very humble. He's not very polite, and he's not does not have so dignity, and so on and so forth. But salary is good. This is karma. But at the same time, to deal with this person on a daily basis, it is also karma.
Right.
It's also karma.
Right.
So though you got the earlier job first, where you were low paid,
Right.
but you rejected that,
Right.
and you came to this one, which is highly paid,
Right.
because your karma brought you here. So you will have to deal with this person.
Right. I
Yeah.
understand. I
Yeah.
understand. So both are getting satisfied in this cycle. The fact that you have to get highly paid, and the fact that you have to deal with this person.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Speaking of salaries, say if a person is very intelligent, hardworking,
Right.
and in spite of that, it happens that throughout their life, and here I'm just talking about success in terms of money. I know success has a very bigger definition,
Right.
but I'm just talking in terms of money right now. So in spite of being intelligent and hardworking, this person is not making much money. And no matter how much he tries, throughout his life, he just gets a low salary. On some level, he understands that this is his karmic account, but is there a way to come out of this cycle?
Yeah, what I would like to say here particularly is that to be intelligent and capable and skillful is not enough.
Okay.
There are many other skills which we call either spiritual skills or emotional skills, how to behave, how to interact with people, There are some people who are very capable, they have many talents, but they do not have this talent of dealing with the people. Here they are big failures.
Okay.
And this is why they are not able to satisfy anybody. They are not able to satisfy themselves. And they are not able to manage with anyone. This becomes a big problem for them.
Okay.
And so, or maybe they are shy in nature, and therefore they are not able to put them, as they are capable of. They are not able to speak out about it. This can be another reason.
Right.
So there are different factors actually which work here. Or there is some karmic account, so that the person, though he is a very capable person, but is not able to make more money because there is some account with the money.
Right.
Maybe he has wasted a lot of money
True.
in his previous birth. Because money is also an energy, you see. It is also an energy. If you have wasted that energy, it will not come to you.
Very true. Very
It
true.
will not come to you.
Very interesting. Yes.
Like matter, if we waste, for example, water, or if we waste electricity, paper, this and that, food, for example. A lot of food is wasted nowadays. When I travel, and when I see that the food being served in the plane, in the business class or economy class, many people do not eat full food. They take just a part of food and the rest of the food goes in the bins. And I feel so sorry about it, so sorry about it, that so many people are not getting the food and this food is going to waste. How nice it would have been if some system could be made, you know.
True.
So this is energy. The same is with money. If the money was wasted in previous birth, then in this birth money will not come.
You know, you made a very important point here, because this is the purpose of this discussion today, is for us to understand on a deeper level how the karmic account can affect us, the law of karma. And you've talked about, you know, not wasting food, water, electricity. We would never normally even think that if I don't have enough water in this life, maybe in some ways I have wasted water in some of my previous lives. And I remember when I was in college, I used to see, like, sometimes the fans would just be running, you know, there would be nobody in the room, and I would go and turn off the fans, you know, or if I would see like a leaky faucet, I would go turn off, and some people noticed it, and they were like, oh, you know, it's interesting that you're doing that. So I knew why I was doing it. I mean, I didn't think of law of karma at the time. I just didn't want to waste electricity. But it's very interesting that you have brought up this point.
It's important, actually, very important. Sometimes the taps are leaking, you know, drop, 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 drop. And if you put a bucket, you know, below this tap, and so you will see that the whole night that there's trickling water, and in the morning this bucket is full. So it seems it is just one drop, but actually one drop makes lake.
Right. Didi, you explained a very important aspect today about, you know, things we take for granted, like water, food, electricity, and how even this can impact our karmic account. So really, we would like to thank you for this wonderful explanation and discussion, but we do have a lot more questions. So if we can continue this discussion in our next episode, you know, we would like you to come back and be with us again.
I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you. Didi talked about very subtle aspects of karmic account today, you know, about action and reaction. And it's not necessarily that it's a single effect. Like you do one positive or negative action and you get back a positive, negative action. Didi explained to us how it comes back to us multiplied. I hope you found this discussion interesting and helpful, and we will continue this in our next episode. Until then, take care and Om Shanti.